Hi, my name is Sharitha Coleman, and this is Self-Hatred 2. This constant judgment made me hate myself for being different and aspiring for more. I didn't fit into societal norms, nor did I want to. I embraced my uniqueness, but faced harsh criticism for it. Society's judgment started with the color of my skin. At around 10 years old, I felt ashamed of being black. Over time, I realized that I couldn't change my skin color, and I had to accept it despite the daily sense of rejection I felt. If I think about the people who disliked me, some had trauma which made them evil and selfish. I didn't understand that they disliked themselves. When we are not true to ourselves, we tend to dislike ourselves. Some people want what someone else has. Sometimes we judge and reject because of something we are missing in our lives, like support, love, and attention, and not accepting your situation for what it is. I did it too. I lived in a illusion, hoping my boyfriend, parents, friends, family, and coworkers would eventually treat me better. Looking back, I could sense when they were about to mistreat me before it even happened. I believe that people are inherently good, wanting to believe in their potential, instead of choosing to surround myself with better people and end toxic relationships and jobs. I found myself complaining about them and envying others who seemed happier. I made excuses for the really cut that off. I made excuses for the behavior of my parents, boyfriends, friends, family, and coworkers, attributing their actions to trauma, poverty, and their desire to improve. Some people in my life appeared to accept the situations and embrace who they were, but in reality, they were angry and act helpless, resulting in inconsistent behavior. In contrast, I chose to see myself as morally superior and believe it was my duty to help them improve. Every day, they continue to make choices that perpetuated their circumstances. They reacted negatively when I started to shine a light on their behavior and show them that they contributed to their own situation by not making better choices. They resented being called out on their behavior and reacted defensively, like how dare I call them out. If I had realized that we were all facing challenges, it wouldn't have justified their mistreatment or exploitation of me. Recognizing our shared struggles should have empowered me to demand respect and set healthy boundaries in my life. However, I realized they didn't need my help. They needed to take responsibility for their own lives. Changing can be challenging, and many people resist it by making excuses and choosing to stay in the negative thought patterns. Rather than break free from these cycles, they continue the same path, reinforcing their negative beliefs, and I did too. If more people could accept where they are in life without judgment, there would be less animosity and resentment towards others. Instead of criticizing or judging, they would focus on finding positivity in their lives. Sometimes people carry emotional baggage by forgetting their own struggles, leading them to judge others unfairly. In doing so, they avoid facing their own issues and emotions. We often find comfort in looking at other people's problems and feeling superior to them. This allows us to avoid addressing our own dissatisfaction and need for changes in our lives. When we're unhappy with ourselves, it's easy to remain stuck in our circumstances and make excuses rather than taking steps to align our decisions with who we truly are. Boy, this window loud. Life is about embracing change, but sometimes we get emotionally stuck in certain areas like relationships and careers, resisting the necessary changes. When this happens, we become unhappy with that part of our lives and often complain and make excuses. I found myself in this situation, excelling in a certain area like work and providing for my family, but struggling in relationships. I judged those who couldn't pay bills or maintain a home, which boosted my own sense of worth. Meanwhile, my own relationships were chaotic and unfulfilling. I avoided making difficult decisions and lacked education on handling codependency and settling boundaries. Instead of focusing on the positives, I fixated on the negatives within my family, hoping to solve problems that were beyond my control and not my responsibility. I used to feel resentful. Believe, hold on. I used to feel resentful, believing that everyone around me had an easier life than mine. I judged others who didn't change, even though I knew firsthand how difficult change can be. I judged them because I knew that working on your emotions was better than staying stuck in them. I worked tirelessly to change my circumstances and improve myself. I would offer advice on how to start becoming emotionally unstuck, only to see people try briefly and then give up, leading them into negativity and staying stuck. They would expect for me to save them when they weren't ready to save themselves, and then get mad at me. I realized that you have to prioritize yourself first, not a parent or a partner, and then take responsibility for meeting your own emotional needs. Running from your emotions only delays the inevitable. They will continue to surface until you address them. When you learn how to address your emotions, you can recognize when someone else is running from theirs. Self-hatred often stems from feelings of being unloved, unheard, unseen, and rejected, leading us to seek validation through others, changing their behavior towards us. This cycle perpetuates when we desire to escape from our true selves and emotions. We judge others instead of fostering compassion and understanding. To combat this, It is important to ask ourselves fundamental questions. Who am I? What do I genuinely like? Is a part of me still yearning to conform to others' expectations, struggling to accept ourselves fully? Instead, the reality that not everyone will like us can hinder our journey towards self-acceptance. Understand that these aspects of ourselves can lead to greater self-awareness and acceptance. Being genuinely kind and understanding means having compassion for others without judgment based on class, status, color, or gender. It's not enough to appear kind and understanding to fit in with society. True compassion requires authenticity and empathy. When you don't love your neighbor, you're indifferent to them. When we love each other and have compassion, we want to help, not judge. When we have compassion, we understand that we create boundaries for those who live a different life. We don't judge. We let them live their life. Thank you. This is Self-Hatred 2. My name is Sharitha Colvin.